Hello everybody, and welcome to our webinar this morning to give you some more information on our mindfulness course. So it's really great that you can join us this morning, and I hope you're all keeping well under the circumstances. There's just so much going on in the world right now. It's kind of an ideal time really to look into mindfulness, to be honest, for all of us. So my name is Colette Savage. I'm one of the lecturers here in the School of Education in the University of Aberdeen. We've actually been running an MSc in mindfulness for 10 years, and we've had people from all walks of life. And recently we've developed some new online courses, which are quite popular, and we're really delighted to be able to bring you mindfulness in this format. It actually works really well, we've found, so we're really pleased. So just a quick introduction to mindfulness, really. Some of you may have been doing this for years. Some of you may be very new to it. So why really might you want to do a course in mindfulness? Well, this course specifically has been designed for the current situation in mind. So we're looking at mindfulness for resilience and mindfulness for well-being. And we're very lucky at the minute because the neuroscience research is starting to back up what people in the East have known for thousands of years, that mindfulness is a wonderful practice. It's a wonderful tool. People view it in different ways. People always ask me, what's your definition of mindfulness, Colette? And I think that's a really interesting question. And honestly, there's so many answers to that. But my view of mindfulness is it's a tool. It's a mental training tool that brings awareness, and it helps you to self-regulate. And it also comes with a set of attitudes which really underpin it, such as openness, curiosity, and compassion. So really what we've got on mindfulness is some training for you to help you develop this, what is actually an innate capacity to be just more aware of what's happening internally in your body and externally in the world around you. And when you really get into mindfulness, it actually gives you this ability to make that split-second bit of space so you can choose more wisely how you want to react, how you want to behave, and you're more aware of how you feel within yourself as you're acting and behaving in the world. And that really helps guide you to what's good for you, what's good for your well-being. And in that, you develop these skills to switch focus and switch. So you first focus on what's happening, and then you can switch into a more positive mindset or a more positive emotional state. So these are all really good innate capacities, and any mindfulness course is really setting out to help train you develop these capacities within yourself. So what about our course that we have here? So we've developed this course online. We've got 3 core learning modules in our course, and we have really picked out areas of mindfulness to focus on, which we think will be really helpful right now. So the first one is just a general introduction to mindfulness, telling you a little bit about how it works and why it works. Remember all that neuroscience and the development of neuroplasticity that we're aware of now, so that our brain can change. And mindfulness is a wonderful tool to help us do that, to make positive changes. And then we'll move on to our first kind of practice module, which will be paying attention. And each of the modules are a combination of knowledge and information, which I know is really helpful. We also have videos, lots of videos from experts that we've handpicked from the field. Makes it very interactive and interesting. And then finally, we're going to have a set of practices for each of the modules, because we want this really to be an experiential course for you to develop your own skills, your own capacity. So we do paying attention, which is kind of core, and that's what helps you be able to choose what you want to focus on. Now, particularly at the minute with all the fear and anxiety around what's happening, to be able to acknowledge that and then choose to pay attention to something more positive, honestly, is a really valuable skill right now, and not to be kind of lost and drop into the depths of all the fear and anxiety that we're being fed a lot of right now. So why not develop the tool of paying attention and then making a different choice? And then we'll move on to the breath, our second module. So we'll explain a lot about the breath and how it works and why it's so important. Remember, the key thing about our breath is that it connects us to our nervous system, and our nervous system is what helps us process what's happening around us. So if you have any kind of fear, anxiety, stress, or tension, simple mindfulness practices working with your breath will really support you in alleviating that right now. And then finally, we'll move on to emotional management. So we all sort of suffer from mood swings, from negative emotions, from getting angry and upset, perhaps feeling fearful or anxious. And what tools do we have to deal with those? So in our course that we're offering, our third module is going to focus on how we can manage our own emotions, how we can acknowledge them, deal with them, and then how we can move to developing our ability to focus and cultivate positive emotions. And interestingly, if you've ever heard of the Dalai Lama, I think a lot of people have, the Dalai Lama always says that compassion helps you first. It first affects yourself. And now we have the neuroscience evidence to prove that actually when you feel compassion towards another person or gratitude, that you benefit the most. And in fact, talking of the benefits of this course, there are so many benefits to developing your awareness of paying attention. It helps you make really good choices, developing your ability to manage your breath. I've been to India a number of times. One time I was in India and I was sitting with a doctor who ran an Ayurvedic hospital. He was I think he was in his early 80s. And he said, "Excuse me, Colette, I have to run for a minute." And I was like, okay, so I just have to go and teach that man down there how to breathe. We were sitting up high in this office. And I looked at the man and I said, gosh, he looks like he's quite old. Yeah, he said he's in his 90s, but if I don't teach him how to breathe properly, it's going to shorten his life. He needs to learn how to breathe properly. And I nearly fell off the chair laughing because I thought, wait a minute, in the West, if we get into our 90s and we look as healthy as him, we think we're doing really well. But actually, he was very aware of the effect of good breathing techniques. So it's core for our well-being. It's really helpful for our nervous system. And that's one of the big benefits of breath-focused mindfulness practices. There are lots of other benefits in terms of your brain and developing good neural pathways. It helps you learn because it develops the hippocampus, which is an area for learning. And it even decreases the size of your amygdala, which is a part of your brain that has been evolved to deal with fear and anxiety. We evolved as a species. We first had to learn to say safe. But what's happened nowadays is we all have this negativity bias. So if you have a tendency to fall into negative thinking patterns, or when you get upset or angry, you can't get yourself shifted out of it, then the practices that we've included on this course will really help you develop those skills. And I think a key to all of your learning is the ability to be focused and be in a nice emotional state and ready to learn. And both the emotional management and the breathing techniques will really help you with that. And then, of course, paying attention. We're all told to pay attention in school. But nowadays we get so distracted with social media that it's really important that we have still got that muscle of attention, that we can pull ourselves back and pay attention to whatever we want to pay attention to, and not get distracted by all those dings and red little dots on our phones that are constantly firing off. So I hope that gives you a really good understanding of the course. It's designed to be interactive. It's easy to follow. The course structure is clear and divided up into each of the modules. And we've even included a little section just on the videos. So if you just want to go back in and look at some of the videos that are embedded in the course material, you can do that as well. And also key to this, please, is to remember to practice. You need some sort of daily or regular practice to help you develop these skills. It's a bit like learning to drive, of course. When you start, it's all a bit clunky and you're not really sure what you're doing. But eventually, it'll just become second nature. I really wish you well on your journey in this course. I really hope that you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, please just put them up now and we'll see what we can do to answer them. And thanks very much for joining us and listening this morning. So, have we any questions? I'm surprised. I'm sure there's lots of things that, there's an awful lot of information, but there's also a lot of misinformation out there on mindfulness. So if you have any questions, don't worry. Even, if you think, well, that's probably not a sensible question, just have a go and let's see what you would like to know more about. Or if you have any comments on mindfulness itself, if you've experienced it before yourself, find it useful or find it challenging, do feel free to put a comment in as well. So we've got a question, how to enroll. I think the university has a very specific web page that you can go to. When I've recommended this to my friends, I say to them, just type in free mindfulness course at the University of Aberdeen, and it'll take you straight onto the on-demand page where you can sign up. When you do sign up, you'll see that you go into the Coursera sites, and then you just create a login and off you go. It's pretty straightforward. And thankfully there, Ray has put up the actual link for you to use. So that's cool. It's really straightforward. Any other questions? No? Okay, well, I think we'll wrap it up there then, unless you can think of any more questions, fire them in quickly. Other than that, thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you take the time to enroll on this course. And I honestly believe that you'll get a lot of benefits, even if you just take one or two of the practices that you particularly like. I think you'll find it really helpful for right now, and also to support you in your learning when you do join us at the university, which we're all looking forward to. We miss you just as much as you must miss coming onto campus, so we're really looking forward to having you here soon. Thanks very much for joining me this morning, and look after yourselves. Take care. Bye.